I did hear head coach Joe Mazzulla. Thank you for taking the time to be here.
How are you?
Did hear that you were kind of game planning for the upcoming season on the duck boat. Is that true?
I mean, we were chanting defense just because I think it's an important identity to have, and I think the same level of intensity that the parade brought is the level of intensity that you need to have throughout a season. So there was definitely a connection there that's important.
Before we get into the basketball part of this, it's really cool to see you going to Patriots game, kind of getting that off-season, excitement and adventure. What's the off-season been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's been kind of said it before. It's been moments of attachment and detachment, right? Like you have to have an understanding of what you accomplish, but at the end of the day, you have to move on to accomplishing something different. And I think going into different competitive environments like a Patriots game, like a tennis match, allows you to kind of see the mental approach and the things that go into either winning and losing. And so I think the more you can put yourself in an environment of kind of testing that, it kind of prepares you. And so a lot of lessons learned, and there's also great times.
So you talking with Patriots head coach Gerard Mayo. What was the conversation? Did you give any advice on what it takes to win a championship?
No, I mean, he's won. He's been a part of some great ones. It was really more about the connections, and so really intrigued by the way they plan their practices, kind of the organizational approach towards a practice plan, how they go into kind of breaking down 3 phases of the game. We have 3 phases: offense, defense, special situations, and then how they really structure their staff based on who's communicating what and how they do it. So he was gracious enough to kind of spend some time with me in there. Really grateful for that, and I think he's obviously going to do a great job just because of his humility and his relationship management, top to bottom. Is something that I picked up from him in that time.
I like your hoodie, by the way. Is that a new one, or is that?
Yeah, it's a new one. I just got it the other day.
Oh, Andy, where you, Andy? I need one of them, baby.
Is there a T-shirt hiding
This is a marketing show too, by the way.
There is a T-shirt. Yeah.
Is it one that you had?
It's blank.
Made? Okay.
It's blank.
So when did you literally switch gears and say, okay, last year's done, it's over with. I need to really focus on this new, a couple new players that's coming in this roster that we have together and making sure that they stay locked in and focused. And what is your approach to that? I know last year you brought in those guys, they was holding their breath, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So that's a great question. It was never like I'm moving on, right? I think it's just always you have to take a balanced approach towards what leads to success and what leads to failure. So, throughout the entire offseason, you're just studying not just last season, but you're studying seasons prior. Like, what was the difference between these seasons? Like, the thing about being here is it's so easy to forget about all the other teams who compete at such a high level. And the one thing I learned as soon as the horn went off was, like, just because we won doesn't make us better than another Celtics team that's competed here. It doesn't make us any different. We're all the same. We carry on this tradition and this responsibility towards success. So it's about studying what goes well, what doesn't go well, what leads to winning, what leads to losing. And when you don't have the time, when you don't have the opportunity to do that during a season, you got to go to other things to see that. So I think you're just in a constant state of studying what leads to winning, what leads to losing, and then how do you develop the themes and the concepts that can test those things on a daily basis, so you're working to make those habits.
One of the things that I enjoy about you most is that you see things in a unique perspective, and you're not afraid of bringing that either to your team or to the public or whatever that is, whoever's in front of you. My biggest question is, how do you get other people to buy into those perspectives if they aren't necessarily the perspective that is set in their mind at that moment?
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the relationship management pieces. You want to pick things that other people are relatively interested in. You can't just go do something, right? So I think it's just the environment we're trying to create of self-expression. I want every time a player or an employee or a staff member comes into the building, they should feel comfortable that we're building a connection towards what's important to them. At the same time, we got to pick some things that I think the standard is greatness. The standard is long-term success. Here are some other arenas where long-term success is being tested on a daily basis. We can obviously learn from that, so we got to have the humility to learn from it.
Coach, kind of back to what you were saying about how you look at each season. When you evaluate the previous year and then go into what you saw last season and how you guys won, what does stick out to you on tape?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we had a different team, so we had a different identity. We played a little bit of a different way. But I think everything comes down to having a shared mental approach, towards the process of winning and trying to keep that. And making great decisions under duress, I think, is the biggest thing. Is can you maintain the same level of competitive nature, the mental toughness, the things that go into winning. One of the things we studied this whole summer was like all the things that lead to losing. And the things that lead to losing are very simple things that just aren't being able to be executed under high amounts of duress. And so the goal every year is to redevelop the mindset of, can we execute simplicity under duress? And we're constantly being tested in that, and that's, how long can we do that for?
I'm going to circle back to Mark's question, where you were talking about the perspective of somebody might have a different perspective. How do you make them believe in it? I think it starts with trust. Al Horford was up here earlier, and we were talking about his minutes, and I was like, man, I know you're a competitor. When Joe came to you, I know you was like, damn, come on, coach. But then he said he trusts you, right? And he trusts the staff and what your decisions are. So I don't think it's that hard when you have that trust, that everybody trusts you, you're a leader of men, that whatever perspective, they'll at least listen. And I think that to me is where you're at, is all of these guys, when I talk to them, they all love you. They all talk so highly of you. And then people around the organization talk highly of you. That just says that, they trust you. Brad trusts you. You know what I mean? You trust Brad. And I think that's where it all starts. And then your star players, your main guys, and then your main vets also trust you. That makes it so much easier for your message to be received from the rest of the team.
Yeah, trust is the ultimate thing. And listen, it really starts with the character and the talent of your team. Like, if you don't have talent and you don't have, like, high character talent, you can't be great. And I'm glad you said that, because for however long I'm here, I've been deemed with one of the greatest gifts a coach at any level can have, and it's the trust of their players. And, our staff, we can't be anything if our players don't trust us. And so it starts with the character and the talent, and it starts with their willingness to trust us. And, you can't abuse that. I think that's the longevity of a coach comes down to just having an understanding of, like, it's about the players. And you have to constantly earn that trust. I'm grateful that they do. I'll be forever grateful for them for that. But you got to earn it every day. And the staff's got to earn it every day. And I think that's kind of what we try to do.
Do you think that, because I played for a coach and been there for the message might fall on deaf ear. Do you work on that? Like, okay, I'm not going to say the same thing that I've said before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come with a different approach. It's the same message, pretty much, but you're saying it in a different way so they can receive it.
I think sometimes not having a message is a message.
Okay.
And I think it's really important to know, and it'll be different this year. Like, every year is different. The timing of your communication is the most important. It could either bring the team closer, it could not move the team at all, or it could bring the team further apart. And I think the number one job of a coach throughout a long NBA season is knowing when to have a message and when to really just shut up. And because of the character and the talent of the guys, I spend a lot more time saying I really don't need to say much. And so I think that's the gray area that you have to win, is you got to know when to shut up and when to talk.
Well,
But
Joe,
again, the players.
No one to shut up, no one to talk.
Yeah, so I should drop the mic right now.
We're done for the show.
never shut up. We enjoy hearing your perspective.
No, thank
you
you.
for coming by.
Yeah.
Good luck this season, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys on the court tomorrow.
Again, the character and the talent of the guys is nothing better that we have here.
Brought a lot of them back, too, so congratulations
Yes.
on that
Thank you.
front.
Good luck,
That's an
Coach.
Coach
understatement.
Mazzulla, everybody. Thank you for your time.